minutes, the American Red Cross responds to an emergency. And joining us now to tell us more about the American Red Cross of North Mississippi is the Executive Director, Casey Grist. How are you, Casey?
I'm great, Tanya. Thanks so much for having us.
And thank you for being here. Every 8 minutes, if I'm right, you are responding to an emergency.
Somewhere in America, yes, absolutely. And really almost that way even here in North Mississippi.
What are you seeing right now?
Fires. We see a lot of home fires this time of year. Of course, when the weather gets cold, a lot of folks use alternate forms of heating. People do whatever they have to do to stay warm. And too often that results in a home fire. It could be anything from just burning a fire, leaving something on, but we average here in North Mississippi, we respond to at least one a day.
Wow, that is so sad to hear. But not only that too, the Amory tornado a couple of years ago, that was really huge for the American Red Cross.
Yes.
How critical was it for you all to respond and try to help out as much as you can?
Well, I always tell this story because it was a very impactful moment for me. The morning after, as soon as it was light, I headed down to Amory, and I was headed down a particular street where we knew there was a lot of damage. And I was speaking with a lady, and she said, "How do y'all do it?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "When I came out of my storm shelter, the first thing I saw was an American Red Cross car go by."
Wow.
And I said, "Well, we watch the weather just like everybody else does, and we prepare. And we know when things are going to happen, and we have volunteers and we have teams of people who are ready to, roll in as soon as it's safe to do so."
And I was going to say, and the great thing for you all, you are now training for the emergency response truck that's about to come to North Mississippi. Tell us about that.
We are super excited about that. For many, many years, we have not had what we call an emergency response vehicle, an ERV, so to speak. And that acts as you see it on the screen now, but that acts as kind of our food truck, if you will. It goes out into the community to deliver meals and supplies in a major emergency. And we are super excited that through the generosity of the Create Foundation, we're going to have our very own here in North Mississippi later this fall. But currently we have one on loan from one of our other locations so that we can get some folks trained to be able to go out. When we do have emergencies, we need volunteers obviously to drive it, and then to be trained to hand out the food and deliver services when we have those emergencies.
And speaking of volunteers, how can one volunteer to work with the American Red Cross?
It's super easy, and the simplest thing to do is to go to redcross.org. You'll see right as soon as you go, there's a click button that says volunteer, and it'll walk you through the process. And there are so many opportunities. We always are in need of what we call our disaster action team, and that's our first responders. That's the people who go out for the home fires, or the first ones on the ground after a major disaster like the tornadoes. And there's a little bit of training that goes into that. And we have a training coming up March 22nd. Here at our office in Tupelo, where we say volunteers can go from zero to hero in just one day. It starts at 11:30, and it'll knock out all their training in one day, and they're ready to go. And if someone's interested in becoming a disaster volunteer and interested in doing that training, they can call our office. I think the number's on the screen, and we would love to have them.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Casey Grist, for all that you do.
Well, thank you, Tanya. We appreciate you as well.
Thank you. Well,